Welcome to another brief episode of Enwisdomization. To enwisdomize is to make wiser, to make smarter, to elevate our minds, our intellects, our judgments, our reasoning, our consciousness beyond the three-dimensional cognition. Today, I am going to continue from my last video where I spoke about psychotronic weapon systems that have been developed by some um, cryptocratic agents of the government. They utilize these weapon systems, very advanced futuristic weapon systems to torment, to torture, to control humanity. If you pay attention to events in this world as it unfolds, you are going to see that there is this subliminal agenda to head humanity into a singular consciousness, to bring everybody into this unthinking singular consciousness, right? And the singular consciousness they are promoting deals with the mind of the demiurge. They want to link your mind to the mind of the demiurge so that you become one of the minions. You become a depersonalized human, a human with no free will, a human with no individual uniqueness, right? You lack your own mind, you lack your own thoughts, your own forms of reasoning and processing and understanding, making decisions. I know many people will say, well, no, it's not going to happen, but it's already happening. The cryptocrats, the technocrats who rule the world, I call them the Luciferians. The Luciferians because these people are following the negative path. They are following the ways of the dark sun. They're following Saturn and whatever the hell lives in Saturn. They're following this negative, demonic polarity in existence. And their intention in the future, and the future is already here. So when I say the future, I'm using this to mean that the people are not yet aware of the kind of technology or the kind of world that is already existing. Remember, a lot of people get their information from the media, from their pastors, from their priests, from the churches, but these avenues of information are controlled. All of them are controlled. If you are a bishop, if you are a cardinal, if you are a pope, if you a pope, you are under certain control system. The collection of information you have in your head is controlled. Same thing if you're a professor in the university. Most professors lack individual cognition, individual reasoning. So they are lackeys of the system. They are lackeys of the elite. These elites utilize them to propel forward their agenda. And that is why, depending on these systems for the knowledge of the true history of the world and how things work is a monumental mistake. It is a monumental mistake if we think that the system set in place, quote unquote, to educate us is actually educating us. Nobody educates you. The system does not educate you. I get so, it's funny to think that people have gone to school, they've acquired all this paper certification, and then they claim to be educated. No, you have a high programmed slave in the system, in the matrix, right? Education comes with individual self-soul emancipation from the system, looking at things away from the control system so that you see things as they are and not as they appear. So, as I said, as we move forward into the future, there is this universalization of minds of humans, what you call human beings, in the communist socialist system, they call them the masses. So whenever you hear this word terminology, the masses is a concept from communism or the comrades in the Western so-called democratic capitalist society. They call them the people, you know, and the difference between socialism or communism and capitalist system is that in socialism, you're going to know upfront that you don't have freedom, that the state is God, and your blood could be spilled in service to the state. But in the capitalist, so-called democratic society, they make you believe, they give you an illusion of freedom. They give you an illusion of freedom in the sense that people actually believe that they have the power. But the reality of the matter is that the people, both in the communist system and in the democratic socialism, democratic capitalism, are all under control. In one of them, you know upfront that you're being controlled. The other one, you're blind to your control because the prison systems, the systems of control are so interwoven with your concept of freedom, and you think you're free, right? So all one system controlled by one group of people. These people are called the Luciferians. These are the elites who have a diabolical agenda for the future of man. They will not rest until the entire planet is subjugated under their rule. They control all religion. They control all politics, all systems of the economy, all means of production, whether it is in the communist system or in the socialist system. The same group of people, they know themselves. They run the show here because this dimension is their domain. This dimension is their domain. So when they give you the so-called freedom, know that you have to look deeper. Don't take things from a face value because that's how they control people here. So they are dreaming of this future and they are working night and day assiduously to make sure that this future they dream come true. Is already being realized. Is what they call the age of transhumanism. Remember, transhumanism, beyond human. You see, you have been replaced already. You don't know it yet. You have been replaced. In the future to come, what you call human will be different. They are creating the next phase of the evolutionary process of man, the next phase of evolution. And evolution, the dream is induced evolution. It is unnatural evolution. It is a synthetic evolution. It is an artificial evolution by the process of the synchronization of man and machine. The process is being perfected already. It's being perfected. And they have the technological means, they have the economic means, they have the occult means to achieve this. The people who are being controlled are completely oblivion to these agents of darkness, to these agents of destruction. Of course, if somebody lays a trap for, say, a rat or a mice, you will so camouflage that trap that the prey will not recognize it. And that's how you trap the prey. The same thing is what they are doing to humans. They're so camouflage the agenda. They promote it under different guises in the social media, in the academic institutions. They are promoting the agenda of transhumanism unknown to the people. The people are not aware of this, but it's coming. In the future, you are going to be half man, half machine. I'm going to say it again because it's very important. In the future, they are dreaming. The future that is already coming, the future that is here already, you are going to be half machine and half human. The technology is here already. They are gradually opening your mind to accept this age of Satanism, this age of Luciferianism that is coming, the age of digital immortality. They are offering you the gift of immortality on this physical dimension, and that is a trick. That is a trick. That is a deception. It is a deception because those who are planning these things are the mechanical ones, they are the inorganic ones, they don't have that transcendental soul. So they want to capture you, they want to trap you on the three-dimensional system forever by offering you eternity here on earth, digital immortality. That is what they promise you in the age of transhumanism. Remember this language. Have to dissect language, right, to understand the intrinsic psychological impact of it. Transhumanism. You have already been bypassed. You have already been left behind, right? You as a human being has already become obsolete. You become useless to the age of digital machine, the age of cybernetization, digitalization of what you call humans. So humans are not going to be humans. Humans are going to be hybrid machine versus biology, because they want to make sure that the soul imprint in man is highly controlled, because that's where they feed. And they don't want you for higher evolution. And that is why they are forcing and inducing humanity into this new dreamed technocratic universe, this digital universe. They're going to put everyone, right? So if you look at our planet today, everything you see is gradually being designed to modify you. There's a bio-digital modification of man. I'm going to say it again. There's a bio-digital modification of humans. Even if you look at the social media platform, you have to remember that social media, what you call the social media, is one of the greatest tools of these Luciferians. It helps them to advance a minor step, little step, not a great step, but a little step into that next phase of the human evolution by the synchronization of man. If you understand what is going on, if you conduct survey, you see that people who are hooked up into this mass media, they have what do you call it? Low attention span. Low attention span. They're already pre-positioning your psyche, your neurological system, your cognition, your thinking to be dependent on machine. Machine is taking over already. The AI is taking over. Remember, the AI is future. The AI is future. And everything they are designing now, whether you call it bio, what do you call it? Whether you call it geoengineering, you know, there's science now that have been going on for a long time. Geoengineering, geomodification, solar engineering, all these things are meant to trap you here in this dimension. I'm going to say it again. All this bioengineering, all this geoengineering, atmospheric engineering, solar engineering, aquatic engineering are designed to keep you here perpetually and to preposition you for the age of digital singularity. This age of digital singularity is the great age of Satan. It is the great age that these Luciferians are pushing forward. You know, watch the science of the future are this. Talking of nanotechnology, pay attention to anything nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, genetics, neurological sciences, and wave technologies, right? Microwave frequencies. These are the tools of these Luciferians, and they will utilize these to keep you in a absolute totalitarian system on this planet. So the question is not between black people and white people, because everybody here, unless you are part of this cryptocrat, this futuristic technocrats, you are under their rule. The so-called differences, animosities, the fight between blackness and white people, black people are engineered by these people as a way of keeping you distracted, as a way of keeping you divided, right? Whether you're black or white or brown or green. You live, unless you are part of them, you live under their control. So don't let them manipulate you. There are something going on a higher realm other than what they tell you in the televisions, other than the political news you watch, other than the social event, the celebrity distractions, the pop culture. All these things are forms of distraction. There are things going on here deeper that if you become aware of it as an evolved soul consciousness, you will be worried for humanity. Every food, most of the, maybe 90% of food, I just made this number, but I think it's near accurate. Majority of what you consume as food have been genetically altered, what they call GMO, genetically modified organism. I need you to don't take my word as truth or as the gospel truth. Do your research that when humans consistently are consuming these genetically altered organisms, it also has an adverse impact on the genetic makeup of man. That is the purpose for which they are altering and monopolizing both plant and animal, even aquatic life. They are controlling all of them. Very soon now, you don't have legal right to sit. They control everything. I said, they control everything. And I know some of you, like in the developing world, we say, well, those are the things they do in the Western society. No, no, this is a universal, this is a global totalitarian system that we are all falling into. A global totalitarian system, right? The atmosphere, the air you breathe is full of nanoparticles. There are machines in the air you breathe. Because nanotechnology, what is nano? Is engineering technology on a quantum realm, on a microscopic realm, on a microscopic form. You know, a self-replicating conscious entity is what saturates our atmosphere. So we're breathing, we're inhaling nanoparticles all over the place, and these nanoparticles become part of the universalization of technology because your body is a conductor as well, and your minds are emitting frequencies, right? So you become part of this artificial reality they are creating. They are spraying the atmosphere with aluminum, barium, and is it stratum? I can't say that name. Do your own research. So the atmosphere is full of these nanoparticles, which the human biological system is absorbing, and these are altering you. These are changing your genetic code. If you are a scientist, just conduct your own atmospheric scientific study, and you see that the atmosphere today is different than what we have, say, 300 years ago. It's been modified. I'm going to say it again. The atmosphere we live in have been modified. The air you breathe, right? The um the things in the atmosphere that interact with your body has been so modified. They are machines, and these machines are meant to change your mind, to synchronize your mind to the mind of the demiurge, that universal mind. I call it the monad. If you study philosophy, you know, when I say the monad, you know what I'm talking about. That universal mind. And when ancient philosophers talk about the universal mind, they are talking of the lower realm. They are talking of the mind of the demiurge, what they call the mind of the god of this world. These people who I call the cryptocrats, who I call the Luciferians or the technocratic elites, they are allegiance to the negative side of reality. They are allegiance to the fallen realm. The technology they have is a gift from their interdimensional masters and lords and overlords. This is what is going on this planet, right? This is what is going on. So microwave radiation, sonic weapons, psychotronic weapons, right, are going to already being deployed against you. They are being deployed against you You're not aware of that. All over you, there are vibrations, there are extremely low frequency that goes beyond the perception of your five senses. And these are extremely harmful. These are machines, these are invisible machines. And we see them now talking about the 5G system on the planet Earth, and many independent stuff. I'm not talking about government funded bullshit. Because sometimes the government funded um, research. That's why I don't believe that government should be controlling research. And that's what is happening. The government is funding certain research, certain um, um, people to discover, and then they control it. They control the information coming from these research institutions. I don't believe government should interfere. Academic institutions should be independent of political and governmental or elite controlled Luciferian control. They should be. And because the people are blind, the people don't understand how the world works, they think that whenever a government sponsored academic research comes out with finding that that finding is independent of control. No, they're being controlled. They are shaping your perception to see what they want you to see. It's a perception deception. It's a perception control. Remember, the best way to control people is to control their perception. Anyone who controls the means of information, control your perception, controls your mind forever, right? So we have to realize that what we have been told is not often the case. There is a systematic global agenda for the control of people. Is already happening. In the 1960s, not even going further than 1960s, 1920s, Russia already developed remote control of the mind of the people using all kinds of systems, 1920s. And I'm sure that this elite probably have this technology going back more than 1920s. Look at the Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany had some of the best scientific the world ever known. And they were using this technology. They were prepared to use this technology to enslave humanity, But we think that the Nazis have been suppressed and the Nazis have been defeated, and therefore Hitler is dead. And that was the end of the case. No, that something happened after World War II. World War II ended in 1945, right? Even though the quote unquote international criminal court led by the United States of America did this public parade trying those quote unquote Nazi criminals. And some of them are being executed, right? These are public show. Because what happened is that the real people behind Nazi technological and scientific atrocities were left unharmed. The US, in something they called Project Paperclip, brought most of the best Nazi scientists to America, and they're the ones actually who helped to kickstart Americans' futuristic science revolution, if I may use that word, that terminology. Most of the people who built who contributed to going to the moon, most of these scientists, a lot of them are Nazi scientists because they brought their Nazi technology to America. Most of them lived comfortably in the United States, and the CIA were the ones who, through this secret covert background program, brought them here. Most of them taught in the great institutions in the United States, right? Teaching the US what they knew, So things are not always what they seem to be. In the 1960s, we see that the US and other developed, when I say developed, I'm talking of technologically developed society, we are so determined to develop mind control technology. For example, Dr. Jose Delgado was one of the pioneers of this mind control technology, and he experimented on cows as well as monkeys how to remote control people's mind. You control people's mind without their knowledge, subliminally. And the technology was there. And they have perfected this technology that, as I said, you can hear radio in your head. People are remote control, can put information in your head, can put knowledge, um, can put um, can hear things in your head that is not coming from you. Somebody is pressing buttons somewhere and you're hearing radio talking in your head, right? And they torture people. Because imagine what it means if you start hearing radio playing in your head, people talking in your head, is that it's not you. You hear it as you listen to sound, radio. People don't sleep. People who are subjected to this kind of ritualistic, satanic, diabolical torture don't sleep. And this technology is already in existence. For some of you who have guns, you think, I mean, I believe in the right to bear arms and defend yourself. That is appropriate. I think every individual on this planet should have that right to bear arms. And if the government goes tyrannically and does not respect that agreement to protect the lives of the people, I think the people can say no to any technocratic, any dictatorial system. But the problem is that the guns are already obsolete. The guns are obsolete because the weapons they have now is a psychotronic weapon, invisible frequency, invisible microwave you don't see that can take you out in a moment, in a blink, that can wipe a whole group of people away. You die without seeing, where the agent of death is coming from, because these Luciferians understood the invisible quantum realm, and they have technology that works, nanotechnologies that are being used to destroy people, to kill people, to take people out, to modify people's behavior, to change the way you think. People are like, oh, how can that happen? How can that happen? No, it's already happening. It's already happening. And the world has to, all good people, all souled people have to wake up to this, the use of electronics for the torturing of people. They use they use waveforms, they use frequency band. They manipulate these invisible dimensions to torture people, to kill people, to control people. If you want to wipe a whole village out, they have technology, people just die suddenly and you don't know what happened to them. The technology is there, frequency war. So the guns and your tanks and their things of the past, they are primitive already, because the advanced technology they have given by their hyperdimensional masters, the overlords who are also another category of control of the planet, another category of space invaders. These non-human beings are using these Luciferians on this planet to control and to rule and to lord it over the masses. So we have to be awake to the new world we find ourselves, all good people, all scientists who are on the positive side, who have not joined this dark side. Everyone has to sound an alarm of what is befalling humanity. But the reality is that majority of humans are sleeping. They don't get it. They don't get it. They are distracted with religion. They're distracted with religion. They're distracted with talks of divisive politics, with entertainment, celebrity culture, socialites. That's what people want to focus their attention on. And these are also engineered behavior. Read a book by, what's his name? It's called the Tavistock Institute. Anyone should read that book very well, because that book explains how some of these things work. As well as another book is by Edward Benet. It's called Propaganda. Read this book. Edward Benet was part of the Council on Foreign Affairs These are a group of people who rule the world, and he gave you a clue, like a window into how your behavior is being controlled and the agenda of these people. Just like a book written by what is his name, George Orwell, an English writer called George Orwell. He wrote in form of fiction, but please don't read that. None of his writing is fiction. The book I particularly recommend is 1984, 1984 by George Orwell. What he spoke about years ago is already being put in place right now in terms of global control of humans. Is there? Is there? They are making movies, and I've told people when you watch movie in the Western world, these movies and some of them, not all of them, some of these movies are not just movies. The cryptocrats are telling you what is going on. If you know how to decode your cult, if you know how to see their symbolism, their signs, and who they are, you see that they are putting these movies to tell you because they're making fun of you because you're daft. They're putting these movies to tell you what is going to happen and where they're going to place you in the future, right? So, also was H.G. Wells was another European writer who wrote in form of fiction, but he had access to these Illuminati secrets. So he was putting this information in form of novels, but they're not novels. H.G. Wells was connected to, again, the Lunar Society. The Lunar Society, a secret society, this part of people who run the world, right? So when they speak, you listen to these people. You pay attention to these people, right? Because they are the ones who control the world and they tell you where the world. There's nothing they will do without telling you, but people can't decode it. Nothing they will do without telling you. Nothing. Everything they will do in the future, they will tell you ahead of time. But how many people can decode secret society and occult symbolism? Their signs are all over the place. But we're blind to some of these simulacras, symbols, and sigils that they use for global control of human. So the bottom line is that the future, the dream for us, is the future of induced evolution, the future of transhumanism. They are already talking of post-humanism, and don't take these things as just as an academic concept, just something that ends in academia. No, they are serious. Post-human. They want to change you fundamentally from human to machine. As I say, the atmosphere, the air you breathe is already full of nanoparticles, and aluminum is one of the nanoparticles in the atmosphere. And we know that aluminum affects the human central nervous system badly. Aluminum, I'm going to say it again. Aluminum affects the neuronal system, the central nervous system of human negatively. Aluminum, like other agents, they are propagating in society, are called neurosuppressant. Aluminum is neurosuppressant, and so is the fluoride in your water and your toothpaste. So why are they putting fluorides in your water and in your and on your toothpaste? Why? Right? Tell me why. They say it's for stronger teeth. Tell that to ignorant people, right? There are deeper agenda because some of you don't believe that you think people are good because you're good. You think everybody thinks the way you are. There are people who are diabolical. There are people who are satanic, and these are the rulers of this planet. You don't know who they are because they are in the hidden. They are in the hidden, right? Look at the soft drinks. Soft drink they are promoting all over the world, right? Contains all kinds of neurosuppressant, right? Aspartame, MSG, monosodium glutamate. Have you researched and see the effect of these agents, chemical agents, on the human biological system? Because they are gradually changing you. They are gradually altering your biology. Your genetics is being modified in the broad daylight. You don't see it. You don't know it because the war is on the invisible. The war is beyond the perception of your five senses. And that is why people don't believe it. People don't believe it. They are gradually changing you. When you drink all these artificial flavors and all these sweeteners, these are neurosuppressant. When I say neuro, I'm talking of the central nervous system. These are neurosuppressant. They suppress your intelligence. They suppress your cognition. They make you like what you make. They make you they water you down. They water your intelligence, your cognition, your reasoning capacity down. They keep you passive. They keep you passive. And you see, children, many things that children are consuming today in our world are full of these additives, that are affecting their neurological system, their central nervous system. And those who understand the anatomy of man from a spiritual point of view will understand that your central nervous system is part of your God system. That's what they're targeting. Your central nervous system is part of your God system. When they take over it, when they possess it, by saturating your central nervous system with monosodium glutamate, with sweeteners, with all these genetically engineered molecules, right? Nanoparticles. It means that they take over you, they possess you. And remember, the goal is futuristic. These people are patient. They don't think like you. These people see the future. These people see the future in 1,000 years. They know where they are going to. The people don't know because they're the ones leading the masses to this future they are creating. And the future they are creating is the future of artificial evolution. The prime creator wants organic, soul, spiritual evolution. These people want synthetic, artificial, inorganic, unnatural evolution. And that is the gift of the digital immortality they want to give you and your children in the future. And we have to say no to that. This is the Primordial Wave. Please subscribe to my channel. I am the Enwisdomizer. To enwisdomize is to make wiser. Thank you for watching.